What if the reason you're walking less isn't laziness or giving up, but your body telling you it needs different movement that doesn't hurt? I'm about to reveal 5 scientifically proven alternatives to walking that maintain your strength, balance, and independence without the joint pain, fatigue, or fall risk that's making walking difficult. These aren't second-rate options or compromises. These are legitimate exercises backed by research from Johns Hopkins, Harvard Medical School, and the Mayo Clinic that can keep you just as strong and mobile as walking ever did. Here's what makes this even more interesting. One of these alternatives actually builds more leg strength than walking does, and according to Johns Hopkins research, it can be done entirely while sitting down in your own living room. Let me tell you about Yvonne, a 74-year-old retired postal worker from Columbus, Ohio, whose knee arthritis made her daily walk so painful she stopped exercising completely and lost significant strength and balance within just 3 months. Her physical therapist introduced her to seated exercises, and within 6 weeks, Yvonne regained her mobility and independence without ever taking a single painful step. Walking isn't the only path to staying strong and independent after 60. And today, you're going to discover exactly what works when walking doesn't. Alternative 1. Chair-based strength exercises. You don't need to take a single step to build powerful leg strength, improve your circulation, and maintain the independence that lets you live life on your own terms. Chair-based strength exercises are a complete workout system that targets every major muscle group you need for daily activities. And the National Institute on Aging has published extensive research showing that seated exercises build strength comparable to traditional walking programs. Johns Hopkins data demonstrates that chair exercises specifically target the quadriceps, hip flexors, and core muscles that are essential for standing up from a seated position, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance. The American College of Sports Medicine has established guidelines for seated resistance training in seniors, recognizing it as a legitimate and highly effective form of exercise that produces measurable improvements in muscle strength, bone density, and functional capacity. What makes chair exercises particularly valuable is that they eliminate fall risk entirely while still providing the resistance and muscle engagement your body needs to stay strong. When you stop moving altogether because walking hurts or feels unsafe, muscle loss accelerates at an alarming rate. Research shows that seniors can lose up to 5% of their muscle mass per week during periods of complete inactivity. And this muscle loss happens fastest in your legs, which are the exact muscles you need for standing, walking, and maintaining independence. Your balance deteriorates rapidly when you're not using your leg muscles regularly, and the National Institute on Aging reports that decreased leg strength is the #1 predictor of fall risk in seniors. As your muscles weaken and your balance declines, daily tasks that used to be simple become difficult or impossible. Getting up from the toilet, stepping into the shower, or carrying groceries from your car all require leg strength. And when that strength disappears, you lose your ability to care for yourself independently. The cycle continues downward as fear of falling causes you to move even less, which causes more weakness, which increases fall risk even further. The solution is remarkably simple and can be done in your living room starting today. Sit in a sturdy chair without arms, positioning yourself so your feet are flat on the floor and your knees are bent at approximately 90 degrees. Start with seated marching by lifting one knee toward your chest, lowering it back down, then lifting the other knee. Do this alternating movement for 1 full minute, keeping your back straight and your core engaged. Next, do seated leg extensions by straightening one leg out in front of you, holding it straight for 3 seconds while you feel your thigh muscle working, then lowering it slowly back down. Complete 10 repetitions on each leg. Then, do seated heel raises by keeping your toes on the ground while lifting both heels as high as you can, holding for 2 seconds, then lowering. Do 15 repetitions of the heel raises. Repeat this entire circuit of marching, extensions, and heel raises 3 times daily. Once in the morning, once at midday, and once in the evening. Bruce, a 78-year-old veteran from Sacramento, couldn't walk more than a few steps due to severe foot neuropathy that made every step feel like walking on broken glass. He maintained his leg strength with daily chair exercises and can still stand, balance, and move around his home independently without assistance. Start this routine in your living room today. No special equipment is needed, just a sturdy chair and 10 minutes of your time. Don't let the absence of walking mean the absence of strength. You can build powerful legs without ever standing up. Alternative 2, water-based exercise. What if you could move freely, bend, stretch and exercise without feeling any joint pain at all, as if your arthritis and limitations simply disappeared the moment you stepped into the water? Water-based exercise, also called aquatic therapy, is one of the most effective and pain-free forms of movement available to seniors. And research from the Mayo Clinic shows that water's buoyancy reduces joint stress by approximately 90% compared to land-based activities. When you're standing in waist-deep water, your body weight is reduced to about 10% of what it is on land, which means your knees, hips, and ankles experience almost no impact or compression while you're moving. The Arthritis Foundation has specifically endorsed water exercise as the optimal activity for people with joint pain, arthritis, or mobility limitations because it allows full range of motion without the pain that typically accompanies movement on land. Cleveland Clinic data shows that aquatic therapy improves mobility, strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular fitness while simultaneously reducing pain levels, making it an ideal solution for people who've had to stop walking due to discomfort. When you have access to water-based exercise but don't take advantage of it, you're missing a genuine opportunity to move pain-free and maintain your strength and cardiovascular health. Continued muscle atrophy from complete inactivity happens quickly, and research shows that seniors who stop all physical activity due to pain lose functional capacity at a rate that dramatically accelerates their decline toward dependence. The psychological impact of limited mobility is significant as well. The National Institute on Aging reports that seniors who can't engage in physical activity due to pain or fear of injury experience higher rates of isolation, depression, and anxiety because they feel trapped by their physical limitations. Water exercise breaks this cycle completely by providing an environment where movement feels good instead of painful, where you can challenge yourself without fear of falling, and where you can socialize with other seniors who are facing similar challenges. Finding and starting water exercise is easier than you might think. Call your local community pool, YMCA, senior center, or recreation department and ask specifically about warm water pool access and senior aquatic exercise classes. Many facilities offer special senior swim times or arthritis-specific water classes designed for people with limited mobility. Start with simple water walking, which means walking forward, backward, and sideways in waist-deep water. The water resistance makes even slow walking an effective workout for your legs and core. Try basic water movements like leg lifts, where you raise your knee toward the surface, arm circles, where you sweep your arms through the water in large circles, and gentle flutter kicks while holding onto the pool edge. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes in the water 2 to 3 times per week to start, and understand that you do not need any swimming skills whatsoever to do water exercise in shallow water. Iris, a 69-year-old teacher from Tampa, had such severe hip arthritis that walking on land was excruciating, and she'd stopped all exercise for over a year. She discovered a warm water aquatics class at her local senior center and now moves completely pain-free for 45 minutes 3 times per week. Call your local pool tomorrow morning and ask about senior water classes or open swim times. This single phone call could give you back pain-free movement you thought was gone forever. Don't let another week go by sitting still when you could be moving comfortably in water. Alternative 3, resistance band training. A $5 elastic band that fits in a drawer can rebuild the strength you've lost and prevent the muscle wasting that steals independence from seniors who stop exercising. Resistance bands provide variable resistance throughout each movement, meaning your muscles work harder in some positions and have support in others, which makes them safer and more joint-friendly than traditional weights while still providing significant strength-building benefits. Harvard Medical School has published extensive research on resistance training as the most effective intervention for preventing and reversing sarcopenia, which is the age-related muscle loss that causes weakness, instability, and loss of function in older adults. Studies comparing resistance bands to weight machines show that bands produce equivalent strength gains in seniors while being more accessible, affordable, and safer for home use. The National Strength and Conditioning Association has established specific guidelines for elastic resistance training in older adults, confirming that bands are a legitimate tool for building and maintaining the muscle mass you need to stay independent and capable. When you don't engage in any form of resistance training, age-related muscle loss accelerates dramatically. Research shows that adults over 60 who don't do resistance exercise lose approximately 3 to 5% of their muscle mass per decade, and this loss is concentrated in the large muscles of your legs, hips, and core that you need for every functional movement. Beyond muscle loss, your bone density decreases when your muscles aren't pulling on your bones through resistance exercise. The National Osteoporosis Foundation reports that resistance training is one of the only interventions that can slow or reverse bone loss in seniors, reducing fracture risk significantly. Your ability to perform daily tasks that require strength, like climbing stairs, getting up from low chairs, carrying grocery bags, or opening tight jar lids, declines in direct proportion to your muscle strength. When walking is your only exercise, you maintain some cardiovascular fitness, but you're not building the upper body and core strength you need for independence. Getting started with resistance bands requires only a small investment and a few minutes of instruction. Purchase a light or medium resistance band from any drugstore, sporting goods store, or online retailer. They typically cost between $5 and $15 and last for years, with proper care. To do a seated row, wrap the band around a sturdy post, banister, or heavy furniture leg at chest height while you're sitting. Hold one handle in each hand with your arms extended forward, then pull both handles back toward your ribs, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and slowly return to starting position. Do 10 repetitions. For a leg press, sit in a chair and loop the band around one foot. Hold the band handles near your chest and push your foot forward, straightening your leg against the resistance. Then slowly return. Do 10 repetitions on each leg. For a shoulder press, stand on the middle of the band with both feet and hold the handles at shoulder height. Press both handles straight up overhead, then lower slowly. Do 10 repetitions. Practice these 3 exercises 3 times per week, and as you get stronger over several weeks, progress to a band with more resistance. Vernon, an 81-year-old craftsman from Denver, lost significant arm strength after avoiding activity for months due to chronic back pain. He rebuilt functional strength in just 8 weeks, using resistance bands at home, following a simple routine his physical therapist designed. Buy a resistance band this week from your local drugstore or order one online today. Start using it this week and experience how quickly your strength responds to consistent resistance training. The investment is $5 and 10 minutes, but the return is strength that maintains your independence for years. Alternative 4, stationary cycling. What if you could get all the cardiovascular benefits of a brisk 30-minute walk without putting any weight or impact stress on your painful knees, hips, ankles, or feet? Stationary cycling, particularly on a recumbent bike with back support and a low seat, provides excellent aerobic exercise that strengthens your heart and lungs while building leg muscle without any joint impact. The American Heart Association recognizes cycling as an excellent cardiovascular exercise for seniors because it elevates your heart rate into the target zone for cardiovascular conditioning without the balance requirements or fall risk of walking. Johns Hopkins research shows that stationary cycling builds significant leg strength in the quadriceps, hamstrings and calf muscles through the repeated pushing and pulling motion of pedaling. And this strength translates directly to improved ability to stand from chairs, climb stairs, and walk short distances when you need to. Studies specifically examining recumbent bikes, which have a larger seat with back support and pedals positioned in front rather than below, show they're the safest option for seniors with balance concerns because you're seated low to the ground with full support throughout the exercise. When you avoid aerobic exercise completely because walking is too difficult, your cardiovascular fitness declines rapidly and your heart health deteriorates. The American Heart Association reports that cardiovascular fitness begins declining within just 2 weeks of stopping aerobic activity, and seniors lose conditioning faster than younger adults do. Your heart becomes less efficient at pumping blood, your blood vessels lose elasticity, your blood pressure tends to increase, and your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes all increase when you're not getting regular aerobic exercise. Beyond heart health, your endurance for daily activities disappears when you're not maintaining cardiovascular fitness. Simple tasks like shopping for groceries, doing housework, or visiting with family become exhausting when you don't have the aerobic capacity to sustain activity. The National Institute on Aging emphasizes that maintaining cardiovascular fitness is essential for independent living, and cycling provides this benefit without requiring you to walk at all. Finding and using a stationary bike is straightforward, and most gyms and senior centers have them readily available. Visit your local gym, community center, or senior fitness facility and locate the recumbent bikes, which are the ones with the large seats and back support, where you sit low and pedal out in front of you. Adjust the seat so your leg is almost but not quite fully straight when the pedal is at its farthest point. Start with just 5 to 10 minutes at a comfortable conversational pace where you could easily talk while pedaling. You shouldn't be breathing so hard that you can't hold a conversation. Gradually increase your time by 2 to 3 minutes each week as your tolerance improves, working toward a goal of 20 to 30 minutes per session. Aim to cycle 3 to 5 times per week for optimal cardiovascular benefit. Adjust the resistance level to something that feels challenging but manageable. You should feel like you're working, but you shouldn't be straining or unable to maintain a steady rhythm. Pauline, a 72-year-old accountant from Portland, couldn't walk more than 5 minutes at a time due to severe knee arthritis that made every step painful. She discovered the recumbent bike at her community center and now completes 30 minutes of pain-free cardio 5 days every week, maintaining her cardiovascular health without ever taking a difficult step. Visit your local gym or senior center this week specifically to try the recumbent bike. Most facilities offer guest passes or trial memberships. This is easier and more comfortable than you think, and it could be the cardiovascular exercise solution you've been looking for. Don't let another month pass without aerobic activity. Try the bike this week. Alternative 5, Tai Chi or gentle chair yoga, the ancient practice that improves balance better than any modern exercise exists. It requires no fitness level to start, and it can be modified to be done entirely while seated if standing is too difficult for you right now. Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art that involves slow, flowing, controlled movements coordinated with deep breathing, and research from the National Institute on Aging shows that regular Tai Chi practice reduces fall risk in seniors by approximately 45%. Harvard Medical School has published studies demonstrating that Tai Chi significantly improves balance, flexibility, leg strength, and overall physical function in older adults, with benefits appearing within just 8 to 12 weeks of consistent practice. Chair yoga, which adapts traditional yoga poses to be performed while seated, provides similar benefits of improved flexibility, balance, body awareness, and mind-body connection. The Mayo Clinic recognizes both Tai Chi and chair yoga as safe, effective exercise options, specifically appropriate for seniors with mobility limitations, chronic pain, or fear of falling. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention specifically recommends Tai Chi as an evidence-based fall prevention intervention for older adults. When you ignore balance training and focus only on strength or cardiovascular exercise, your balance system continues deteriorating and your fall risk increases year by year. Balance is a complex skill that requires coordination between your vision, your inner ear, your proprioception, which is your sense of where your body is in space, and your muscle strength and reflexes. All of these systems decline with age, and the National Institute on Aging reports that balance deteriorates faster when it's not practiced regularly. Your flexibility decreases when you don't move through full ranges of motion, which limits your ability to perform daily tasks like reaching overhead into cabinets, bending to tie your shoes, or turning to look behind you while driving. The mind-body connection that allows you to move smoothly and confidently weakens when you're not engaging in activities that require focused, controlled movement. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in seniors, and the CDC estimates that 1 in 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, making balance training absolutely essential for maintaining safety and independence. Finding and starting Tai Chi or chair yoga is remarkably accessible in most communities. Search online for senior Tai Chi classes, chair yoga classes, or balance programs at your local senior center, public library, community center, recreation department, or place of worship. Many communities offer free or low-cost classes specifically designed for beginners with no experience. You can also find numerous free online videos specifically designed for seniors by searching for senior Tai Chi or chair yoga on video platforms. Start with just 15 to 20 minutes of practice daily, focusing on the gentle, flowing movements and controlled breathing that characterize both practices. Tai Chi movements are slow and deliberate, involving weight shifts, arm movements, and rotation that challenge your balance in a controlled, safe way. Chair yoga involves seated stretches, breathing exercises, and gentle movements that improve flexibility and body awareness. Both can be done entirely while seated if standing feels unsafe right now, and you can progress to standing movements as your confidence and ability improve over time. Lionel, a 76-year-old salesman from Atlanta, had 2 serious falls within 6 months and was terrified of moving or going anywhere alone. After 12 weeks of attending a Tai Chi class at his senior center twice weekly, his balance improved so dramatically that his physical therapist said his progress was remarkable. Search online right now for senior Tai Chi or chair yoga classes near you and sign up for a class this week. Many classes offer a free trial session so you can see if it's right for you before committing. Your balance and your confidence depend on taking this step. Don't wait until after another fall to start balance training. Start this week while you're thinking about it. Here's the truth. These 5 alternatives to walking can maintain your strength, balance, cardiovascular fitness, and independence just as effectively as walking ever did. And they do it without the pain, fear, or limitations that have made walking difficult for you. Chair exercises build leg strength without requiring a single step. Water exercise lets you move freely without any joint pain. Resistance bands rebuild muscle that walking alone can't maintain. Stationary cycling provides cardiovascular conditioning without impact. Tai Chi and chair yoga improve your balance better than almost any other activity. You don't have to choose between pain and inactivity anymore. These options give you a third path forward where you can move, strengthen your body and maintain your independence without suffering. Thousands of seniors across the country are using these exact alternatives to stay strong and capable, well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Pick even one of these 5 alternatives to try this week. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to do all 5. Just choose one that sounds manageable and take action. Consistency matters far more than intensity when it comes to maintaining your physical function. Your body is more capable than you think when you give it the right type of movement that works with your limitations instead of against them. Which of these 5 alternatives will you try first? Comment below with the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and let me know which one you're committing to this week. If you know someone who stopped walking due to pain, fear of falling, or physical limitations, share this video with them right now because you could give them back the mobility and independence they think is lost forever. Hit that like button if you're ready to move again without the pain that's been stopping you. And subscribe so you don't miss our next video about the 5 balance exercises that prevent falls and keep seniors safe and independent. Movement doesn't have to hurt to keep you strong. Start with one of these alternatives this week and rediscover what your body can still do.